Okay, today we're going to start on packet 2, types of slopes. We're going to spend a couple of days at least on this packet. You should have gotten this in your email. Okay, if you didn't, let me know after this session and I will send it to you. Types of slopes.
I got it.
Okay, good, Josh. Hey, thank you. Okay, there are 4 types of slopes that we're going to talk about. 4 main types of slopes. Okay, the first one, this is our X and our Y axis, okay? Like this, okay? And the first type starts slow. It starts low. I'm going to sneeze again. Thank you. And goes high. This is a positive slope. Now, if you can't remember, which I remember having a hard time with this, we always read the graph left to right. So it starts low, goes high. It's a positive slope. So you can already guess what a negative slope looks like. This is X and Y. Hopefully, yeah. Okay. The negative slope starts high and goes low. This is a negative slope. Negative slope. The next one is a horizontal. It goes across anywhere. I'm just drawing it a certain place. It's a horizontal slope, and it's a 0 slope. This is a 0 slope. And then the last one is a vertical, straight up and down. And this is what I call a no slope, but more often it's called an undefined. Yes, somebody saw that yesterday and was asking, right? An undefined slope goes up and down vertically, a 0 slope. Be careful not to mix these up, okay? Now, the way that I remembered it when I was trying to remember was a horizontal, I'm sorry. Horizontal, I can start the letter Z with this, 0, okay? I can start the letter Z. I can't start a U or an N with that line, do you see? And over here, I can start the letter N with this, or even a U. So that's how I learned to keep them straight, okay? There's an undefined slope and a 0 slope. Okay?
So is a 0 slope still considered horizontal or not? Or we don't? No. She was just telling you how.
If it's,
okay.
Yeah, it's called a 0 slope.
Okay.
It's drawn as a horizontal line. Okay? Those are our 4 types of slopes. And so actually on the first page of your handout and, okay, now the second page.
I was just naming them.
You're just going to name them so that you start to recognize. Now, we're going to go over here to the coordinate plane. Now, on the next page, all they're going to do is ask you to plot some points. Okay? And so they will tell you, so you get your practice again with plotting points. And maybe they tell you to plot this point and then this point. And then they tell you to draw a line through it. And then they just want to know what kind of slope is this.
So
That's a negative slope.
Negative.
Y'all see it from there?
Yes.
Okay, this is a negative slope. So on that page, they're going to take you slow through this. And they said just draw a line. Now, when they say a line, let's be very specific. They didn't, yesterday we were doing segments where we stopped here and stopped here because that's a line segment. This one says draw a line through the points, and a line, we found out by definition, goes on forever and ever. So you draw the lines through the points and put arrows on it to indicate that it's a line, not a segment, okay? It says a line, but that's not going to be the main focus of this particular page. This particular page wants you to review plotting points and then draw the line and say what type of slope it is. Okay, are we good with that one? Okay with that, Josh, Isabel?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, now the next one, we are going to calculate the slope. That's the next 2 pages. And so we're going to talk about counting slope. We're going to count slope. So I'm going to come back over here to the blackboard first and talk to you here. And then we're actually going to go back to that one that I just drew. Okay. Slope. Definition. Of a line. Okay, easy enough. The slope is defined as the slant of a line. Okay, it is always a fraction and it is defined as the fraction is going to be rise over run. Rise over run. You will understand this by the time in the next 10 minutes. You'll understand this. And the letter that they use to indicate slope is M. So you will see M equals. Okay? This isn't, it isn't a standard letter like pi or like, have we done anything else? No. Okay, there are certain letters that are used only for a particular thing. Like later on, there's a letter I that indicates an imaginary number. I don't think we'll do those, but the I isn't used for anything else, just the imaginary number. And pi is only used for the 3.14. This M indicates when you're working with lines, it indicates the slope. So you will see this M used later this week and next week. Okay, the slope is the rise over run. So here's how you work it. Let's say, and I'm gonna try to draw some straight lines. Trying to draw them big so you can see what I'm talking about. And this is our axis, or our axes. Okay, this is Y, and this is our x-axis, okay? Now, what we're going to do is try to find the slope of a line. So, where'd my stuff go? I have another one of those in a different color. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, So they tell you to plot the point 2, 2. Okay, we're going to plot the point 2, 2. So when we plot a point, we start at the origin, right? And then we're going to go the first part. I'm doing a 2, 2. So the first number is how far I go on the x-axis, remember? When I'm plotting a point. So I'm going to start at the origin. Hi, Vanessa. And I'm going to go 2 places on the x-axis, remember from yesterday? And then the second number says when I turn the corner here at the intersection, I've got to go up or down the second number. So it's a positive, I'm going to go up 2, and here's the point 2, 2. All right, now let's plot this point, -4, 1. Okay, I'm going to plot the point -4, 1. So I'm going to go, I start at the origin again if I'm going to plot a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1. Do y'all see? I plotted these points. You start, when you plot a point, I'm making this very clear because slope is going to be different. Plotting a point, you always start at the origin. The first one is a horizontal move. The second one is a vertical move. Okay? Horizontal and a vertical move. All right? So we plotted those 2 points. Now, I'm going to try to draw a straight line through these points. There we go. This will be better, bless you. This will be better when we get that has really good squares, but I want to show you how this works. Now we're going to find the slope of this line. This is the first time you're going to count this slope. You can start at either point. You do not start at the origin. When you're finding the slope, you start with a point on the line, not the origin. And then to find the slope, we rise first. So let's start from this point, okay? Now, the way that I think about this is my house. I've been invited to my friend's house, and I need to go there. I can't cut across vacant lots or anything. I can't walk through houses. I have to go along the blocks and the intersections, okay? So that's what I'm going to do, and it's time for me to go to her house. I can start here. Now, the rise means up or down, right? Rise usually means up, but it can be a negative rise. So to get to her house, I'm going to have to move down 1 block, right? So my rise is going to be a -1. Do y'all see? My rise from my house is a -1. And then I look at my watch and I say, oh my gosh, I'm late. So I have to run to her house, okay? So I don't count where I turned because I've already counted that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I went 6 blocks and I went to the left. So again, that's negative, right? The run was a -6. Okay, now we know that when we have 2 negatives in a fraction, that's not okay. But the 2 negatives in a fraction cancel each other out. And so our slope is a positive 1/6. Now you can sort of check this because look at your line. It started low and it moved up. What kind of slope is this?
Positive.
If it starts low and moves up, it's a positive slope, and we got a positive number. That has to happen, okay? Your fraction has to come out the same, negative or positive, as the slope shows. Y'all understand? So that's our very first try at counting slope. Now let's go over here to the one that I drew just a minute ago.
So that's slope. You don't have.
That's
to,
it. That's the slope of the line. Now we're going to find over the rest of this week, possibly into next week, we're going to find different ways to find slope. But this is how you count slope. This is the first step.
You always going like down on the first
Uh-huh.
point. You're going down.
I went down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So it makes it negative. That's a negative rise. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, but always.
No. Watch this. I meant to show you this. Look. Remember I told you that it didn't matter which house you started at? Maybe this is my house, and I'm going to go to my friend's house. This is a good question. Okay? This is my house. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go to my friend's house. So my slope equals, okay? So it's time for me to leave, and I want to get here, okay? And so from here, I'm going to walk up 1 block before I turn. Y'all see? I'm going to go up 1, so my rise is 1, and then I turn and look at my watch again. I'm always late. Okay, so I have to run to her house. Don't count the intersection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm at her place. And those were both positive, which means that the fraction is going to come out positive. So it doesn't matter whose house you start at. Okay? No, the only left to right that you have to do is when you're deciding what type of slope. You know, and it's easier to think about reading a book left to right. So you start low, go high. But no, see, we started here the first time.
This point, you went up.
From this point, I went up. Yes, but I went down and to the left, which was negative, negative. When I went from here, I went positive, positive, but that made my fraction come out exactly the same. So it doesn't matter which place you start. Good questions. Keep that up. So now let's go back over here and see if we can count the slope of this beautifully straight line that I have over here. Okay, here are my 2 points. And so I can start either place. Okay, let's start here. Okay, and so here's my house, and I'm going there. So my rise over run. Okay. Okay, from here, from this house, I've got to get there. So my rise, I have to do the up and down first, right? So I don't count my house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I went down. So it's a -8. Okay, -8. And right here's where I turned. We don't put a point there. Okay, this is where I turned. Now I'm going to run, and I'm going in a positive direction this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I went 13 blocks in a positive direction. So now the rise over run, my slope is a -8/13. Now let's go from the other one. Now you don't have to do this, but I'm trying to show you that it comes out the same. So let's start here. And I have to go to this house. So I'm going to walk up this far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's in a positive direction. And then I turn the corner here and run in a negative direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in a negative direction. Now, that brings us to a negative in front of the fraction, and I want you to realize that the negative on a fraction, it doesn't matter where it lands, as long as there's only one. There can't be two, they cancel each other out. So this, with the negative up here, is exactly the same value as this one with the negative down here, or you may even see it like this with the negative out in front. Okay, all of those are exactly the same. I look at it as, I always personify everything, you know, make it like a person. And I think that the negative is just really independent and it does what it wants to do. Okay, today I want to be on the top. Then I want to be outside out front, you know. Okay, the negative can go anywhere. Okay, so counting slope, how do you feel? You need to do it again?
One more.
Okay, I think somebody should come up and do it, somebody. Somebody.
I'll do it.
Okay, okay.
Irene. She's on that ass.
Okay, let me,
okay.
I will plot 2 points.
I'll learn.
Every one of you, I think I'll get each one of you up here, we'll practice.
Yes.
I was up there yesterday.
Let's do wham. Wham, wham, wham. All right. Come on up, Toots. Okay, I'm gonna get you 2 points.
You're a brave one. Oh, shit.
Do you want me to draw the line, or you want to draw the line? You can probably draw straight. Okay. I need you to find the slope of this line. Okay. You can start either place. Bless you. So she started at the bottom point. She counted the blocks. They were in a positive direction. It was 5. She turned the corner. Wow. And it came out 5/5, which brings us to the next thing. If it comes out something that can be simplified, then simplify. So your slope here is 1, right? So you can say equals 1. Good. You did a great job. See? Come on.
Excuse me?
Come on, next. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Counting slope.
It's hard.
I'm going to make it harder. Watch this. You don't have to have that machine. Okay. This time, I'm going to say, y'all, I'm going to say find the slope between these 2 points.
Good luck, Irene.
So she's going to need to plot the points first, and then she gets to count. What?
The first time.
Remember that to plot the points, you start at the origin, okay? And then you go the X direction and the Y direction. All right?
Are you serious?
I'm serious, but I'll help.
I'm scared of the camera.
I will not leave you. Okay,
Okay.
so to plot points, we have to start at the origin. Yes, and we move 1 space in the X direction. Okay, start at the 0, 0,
Right here.
and we're going on the X axis. So that's horizontally 1. Don't put a dot there. Yeah, you're fine. Don't put a dot there. And then we go up 3. 1, 2, 3. That's where your first dot is. Make it good and big. That's good. Okay. Now we're going to plot this point because we need the 2 points, all right? You're going to start at the origin. And you're going to go -6 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, well, the dot line down there. That's right. That's right. And then, 1, 2. There you go. Now we'll either draw a line down through there or I will. Here you go. Draw your line and go through the point all the way. I know. Keep going. Keep going. There you go. Go through it.
I'll go through what?
Because it's a line. So you go all the way. Keep going.
Go past the circle.
There you go. Now go the same direction this way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and we'll put arrows on it because it is a line. And then since we're, yeah, make those bigger. Or we can make them black.
Yeah.
There we go. Here are the 2 points. Okay, now, good job. Now you're going to find out what the slope is. It's the rise over the run. And remember, now we're just doing slope. So we're going house to house. It doesn't matter which house you start at.
Okay.
Now remember, rise.
Rise. Oh.
Yes, yes. So she went, now wait a minute, look and see the houses you're going to.
Okay.
There, and you need to end up there. So how many down do you go? If
One?
Yes, yes. She went down 1, so you have a -1. Okay. Yes. She put a -1. The blue isn't working very well. And then you turn and run in what direction?
Left.
Negative direction. Okay, so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because you end up on the house.
So -7?
A -7 again. Yes. Yes. So what is the slope actually?
1/7.
You said it. 6? 1/7?
Yes. Yes. So her slope is 1/7. It's positive. Look at the slant there. Thanks, Irene.
1/7.
You're a good sport. Because you came down 1 and backwards 7. So it was down 1, backwards 7, but the 2 negatives cancel. So your slope is a fraction, 1/7. Okay, and let's do what, let's use the same thing that she did just now. And let's go from the other house, just to show you. She went from this house to this house. Let's go this house to that house. So it's time for me to leave. And so I walk up 1 block, up 1 block, and then turn and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I got to her house. So the 1/7 here and the 1/7 here, they will be the same. And the slant of your line will be a positive because the fraction is a positive slope. If you end up with a negative slope but a positive number here, then go find out what's wrong because it's not right. Is everybody okay? You think? Maybe? Do we want to do one more? Do we want to get somebody else up here? Okay, Vanessa. Come on up, Vanessa. Let me find my eraser. And I'm going to give you the points. Y'all help me give her a point. Tell me a point. Let's
Do the 0 slope. Can we do a 0 slope on this one?
That's an
Because you've already done the other two, so let's do the zero.
Okay, I like it.
I want to see how the zero works.
The, oh,
This
todos
one,
los
this
que
one.
los señores son-
Ujú. Va a ser como esta.
All right.
I know she's.
I think this one is pretty good. Okay, she's gonna plot these two. You kind of gave her the answer, but we'll look and see how it works. No, it's fine. That's a really good idea. So if you plot a point, yes, that's the X and that's the Y. That's exactly right. So to plot points, and I'm just telling everyone, to plot points, you start at the origin. Yeah, you go ahead. She counted 4 to the right and 5 up because they're both
Oh, no.
positive. Yes, you're correct. 4, 5. Now, do the other one. Good heavens, I'm gonna have her always draw the lines. Look at that. Okay, now, we're gonna find the slope of this line. So you're gonna start from one house. Decide which house, okay. And then you have to do your rise first. Okay, so how far are you gonna rise? Rises up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
-8.
So she said a -8. And then she's going to run how far? None, right? She's going to run none because she's already at the house, right? Okay, so this brings me to another one. Thank you. I want everybody on the recording to see too. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay, so this is the slope. Now I have to remind you of another thing. Fractions. I'll put it right here.
So you said slope is always a fraction.
Yes, and if it's not, then you can, if they say the slope is 4, then you put a 1, yes, Vanessa, you put a 1 underneath and call it 4 over 1 so that you will have a rise and a run. Good question. Good question. Okay, here's what I want to show you about this fraction, and then we'll come back to what that is. You will have 2 types of fractions that have 0 in it. You will either have 0 over some number, or you will have some number over 0. Now, it's very important for you to know this. Yes, I put it right here, but thank you. Okay, so with the 0 on top, think about this. Well, I think that's going to mess you up. This is 0 if you have 0 cookies, okay? You have 0 cookies and 5 friends. You're going to divide it between your 5 friends. How many cookies is everybody going to get? 0, right? Okay.
Sorry, my friend.
Okay, so if 0 is on top, it is a perfectly legal fraction, okay, and it's equal to 0. If the 0 is on top, if the 0 is on the bottom, this is illegal in mathematics. It's illegal, it has no definition, it has no value. Not a 0 value, it has no value. It's illegal. Okay? So if you ever come up with something like this in an algebra problem, then your answer would be, there's no answer. No, yeah, yes, that's going to be here. Okay, if you find this as a slope, which we did over there with the 0 on the bottom, this indicates an undefined slope, which matches what you put. Just a minute. Undefined. undefined slope. Now, I'll tell you something funny that a teacher a long time ago I taught with, and she was so much fun. She told her students the way to figure out the difference here is to think about this fraction as being a little boy Timmy. Okay, this is little boy Timmy and this is little boy Timmy, okay? And he wants to go out and play. And mom said, fine, go out and play. And Timmy, it's okay if Timmy goes out without a shirt on. Do you see? It's okay. Timmy has no shirt on. This isn't a good thing if Timmy goes out without any pants on. Okay? And I thought that was so cool. I love those funny stories because you remember them. So it's not okay. It's illegal for Timmy to go out without any pants on. Are we good? So when Vanessa found a -8, yes, her fraction for her rise over run came out -8/0. We know that that fraction is illegal, and so the slope is an undefined or a no slope. And that makes sense because in our definitions earlier, we said a vertical line is a no slope, right? It's an undefined slope. So her picture matched her slope. Do y'all see? Okay. I don't want to beat this into the ground. Let's see what else you're going to have to do today.
Can we do, on this one, can we do one? Because there's some back here that don't even have fractions.
Aha. Okay.
Like 1 and 7 is not a fraction.
Okay. Let's do number 7. Number 7. This keeps me busy with the different erasers and different markers. Okay. So do I have a volunteer? No. 2 people left. I see people doing the same thing that we do in the high school rooms. Don't call on me. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you the 2 points because I want you to practice plotting them. Okay. And then we will find a slope. So here are the 2 points. Here is 2, -4. I'm going to have to give you a different one. And 4, 2. Right? 4, 2. Okay. I don't know. I guess the black one's going to be the best. Okay. I need you to plot these points first. Let me make sure we've got where everybody can see what's going on. Okay, the 2 points, if you can't see the marker board, the 2 points that she's plotting are 2, -4. So she starts at the origin. She's doing a great job. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make it a good size. There we go. Okay, and so she plotted 2, -4 there. And the other one is 4, 2. Good. Yes. So she's going to, do you want me to put the ruler there for you? That's fine. You go past, and past it, and past it, and then you put arrows on it, okay? Sorry. All right, and now, let's see, I'll write it over here on the blackboard because they can see. Okay, so the slope of this line now is rise over run, and remember, now she's not plotting a point, she's trying to find the slope, okay? And so she's going to start at one of the houses And she's going to count her rise first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she went, what am I going to write down? -6 because she went down. It's a negative direction. So she's got a -6. She's going to turn the corner and count 1, 2. And she went in a negative direction again. And what we found out is you can't have two negatives, correct? And so they cancel each other out, and we have 6/2, correct? But even with slope, we simplify our fractions. So these will both divide by 2. And so the answer will come out 3/1. Okay? We know that, thanks, you can. We know that the slope has to have a rise and a run, which is 3 and 1. Okay, I'm going to show you that too here in just a minute. But some people will go ahead and simplify this and say the slope is 3. But if you need to count out a slope and all they give you is this, then you always put a 1 under, so you will have a rise and a run. Y'all see? Now let's say, well, she said the slope was 6/2 or -6/2, but I'm saying that the slope is 3/1. So how can that be? Watch this. We go from one house. We're going to start and go from one house, and we're going to rise 3, okay? From this house, I'm going to rise 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to run 1. Well, I'll be darned. So the equivalent fractions are always going to lie on the same line. They're going to have the same slope. Do y'all see? Okay, so even though we simplify the fraction, it's the same slope. And notice that this is a positive slope. Are we good? Mm-hmm. Positive slope, positive number. Yes? Okay, let's just see if there's anything else today, because I feel like this is already enough for you to practice, but oh my gosh, the volunteers that came up, yay. You know, Rebecca, your time's coming.
I did it yesterday. And I didn't complain.
Okay, now the next one I'm just going to talk to you about. It is this, if you numbered your pages, it's page 5. And what it has is just a dot on here, and then it gives you a slope. Up at the top, it says sheet 1, and up at the top, it says graphing. Okay, and it gives you a point, and then it tells you to draw the line through the point that has the slope that they gave you. Ooh. So I'm going to put this on the board, and I'm going to show you how to work it. Okay, the point that is already given on the sheet of paper on number 1 is 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. This is the point that they give you on the paper. And then they say that the slope, I hope you can read this, is 2/5. So what they're wanting you to do is find the other point so that you can draw a line. Okay, well, remember when we do the slope, the rise over run, we always start at one point, and they gave us a point. So that's cool, right? So all we have to do, we know that the top is the rise, and we know the bottom is the run. So from this house, I've got to go find my friend's house. Okay? So from my house, I'm gonna plug this GPS in, and it tells me how to get to her house. It says to rise 2, so I go here, and then it says to run 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, looky there. I found her house. My GPS was correct. Y'all see?
Well, it's kind of different on.
Yeah, because ours is going, we don't have no more space for 5. So do we do the other ones, or
Aha,
how
I like it. I like that they did this. They said, and I need to show everybody. They said, if we look at this, and here's the point, right? Let me find it. Oh, Deborah. Okay, here's the point, and if they go up 2 and over 5, they ran out of graph. So you can either draw the lines in, or I would rather you do this. Do we agree that this and this makes a positive?
Yes.
So how about if we go down 2 and to the left 5? Okay, so here's the point they gave us. And so now we're going to go down 2, 1, 2, and to the left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And guess what? We could still draw a line through there because it's the same slope. Yes? Do you kind of see how it works a little? And see the lines are in, it's in a straight line. All those points are in a straight line. I got a little fold there.
And that's what they did on the back.
Okay. So if you run out of room, go the other way. But don't just put one negative on it. You've got to change both signs.
So we're drawing also the line?
Yes.
Okay.
Did they
Yes.
draw it? Yes. It says to draw a line through it. So how about that? Do you feel comfortable enough to start?
Yes.
Let's see, was that page 6?
5.
Let's look at 6 real quick. Because you're going to, aha. Okay. Here's what you're going to be doing on line 6. You're going to be doing exactly the same thing, but because it looks different, we'll talk about it. This is page 6. This is page 6. It says identify the slope of each line segment. Okay? So, you know how much I love you guys. Right? Okay, so this is number 1. -4, -2, -4, -2. They have this, and they call that C. And 3, -4, 3, -4. And they call this one B. And A is 4, 3. 4, 3. And they called that one A. Okay, and then the lines are connected. These are line segments. Notice that they don't have arrows on them. Okay. So now what they're asking here is to find the slope of each line segment. So it's okay. You can do it. Right here, let's find the slope of AB. Segment AB, okay? So that means that we're going to isolate what we're looking at, and we're just going to talk about from this point to this point. Ignore the rest. We just want to know the slope from A to B or B to A. It doesn't matter which way you go. So the slope from A to B, we're going to have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go down 7. And then to the left, 1. -1. Do y'all see? So the slope, I don't think, how does it have this? Because that looks like the measure. Oh, they just said the slope. the slope of AB, notice that it has two negatives, so you have to make it a positive. You can either tell me that it's 7/1, which helps you to know that it's always a fraction, or I imagine on the back they call it just 7. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So either way, you know that when you're finding slope or indicating slope, it's a fraction. But if it comes out over 1, this is perfectly fine.
So
Everybody
if you see
okay?
that on the test, if it's only just 7, then that's,
It means 7/1.
okay.
Okay. So you would do the same as the slope from C to A. You can use start at either point, and then from C to B, you can start at either point and count. Are we good? But you're going to do 3 slopes in one problem. Yeah? How are we doing? You about ready to get started? Got your engines started?
No, I need a funny hand.
On the other one that says slope of BC on the same problem, how
Yes?
did they get 2?
They went from B, they went up 2 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? So it's -2 7ths is the slope of
Yes.
BC. Yes. Do you see it?
They did, like,
I did it backwards. It's okay. That's what I did yesterday.
well, because I.
What did you say about backwards?
I did it backwards. Minus
Oh,
-7.
And yeah, and remember, this is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You count from the other house. The negative can go anywhere on the fraction. It doesn't matter. So if you did it the other way, Mary, it's exactly the same answer and you got it correct. Okay? I think it's time for you guys to get started. Okay. Any questions here? Josh? Isabel?
No, I understand it pretty good.
Okay. And you've got the papers.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I will see you tomorrow. We'll continue in this packet tomorrow.
All righty.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow. You
All
know I
right.
love
You too, Deej.
Okay. See you later.
Bye-bye.